Be quiet and listen. Wealth is quiet. Money does not like noise. Wherever there's lots of money, it's always quiet. You go to the bank, it's quiet. You go to a rich neighborhood, it's quiet. Poor is loud and flashy. The loudest places and the loudest people are normally the brokest. Because money doesn't like noise.
Welcome back to Profit Pulse, where we build wealth the smart way, not the loud way. Today's episode of the Quiet Wealth series is all about one simple truth. You don't have to show it to grow it. Real wealth doesn't need attention. It needs focus, patience, and purpose. While others chase applause, quiet builders chase progress. So if you're ready to grow your money without telling the world, you're in the right place. Let's get into how the wealthy stay discreet, disciplined, and deliberate.
Someone said the best way to get rich isn't flashy. It's boring businesses like storage units, laundromats, parking lots, waste management, the unsexy stuff. And they're absolutely right. The real money isn't in trends. It's in consistent cash flowing businesses that people will always need. Let me give you a real example of this in action. I just got back from Grand Cayman and I was super impressed with the island's infrastructure. Way more developed than a lot of the other Caribbean islands. And if you know me, you know I'm always curious about business. So since I interview for a living, I'm naturally in interview mode everywhere I go. So I started asking questions. Long story short, I found out that there's a billionaire who has been quietly investing in Grand Cayman infrastructure for decades. He's always had a long-term view, thinking in decades and not months. And his boring business, that's what made him a billionaire. Want to guess what it was? Food and beverage packaging, like the red Solo cup business. Yeah, boring and billions. Why boring businesses make you rich? They aren't trendy, so there's less competition. They solve an everyday need, so demand never dies, and they generate predictable cash flow, so they scale steadily. Some of the wealthiest people I've met, they didn't make their money in tech startups or luxury brands. They own boring businesses that print cash. So how do you start thinking like a billionaire? Look for an everyday problem people want to solve. Find a business with high margins and low maintenance. Start small and scale. Buy an existing business, automate operations, and reinvest profits. Everyone wants the sexy startup, but the quiet money is in the businesses that people use every single day without thinking about it. This is your elite recruiter doing the research for you so you don't have to. Like and follow for more of my tips and sign up for my newsletter. Let's build smart careers.
In this room, based on my own experience, maybe 5% of you will make it all the way to the business owner level. Most people will start as professionals and they'll stay self-employed. Self-employed is a trap, and let me tell you why. A self-employed person has a great middle-class lifestyle. Their kids go to a good private school. They drive the right car. One of the ways you know self-employed people, watch this, is every time a major brand releases a new variant of the car they drive, they'll buy it. I've never met a wealthy person that drives the latest Range Rover. I know wealthy people whose family owns foundations, who has museums and homes in 3 continents of the 6 in the world. I've never met one that drives the latest Range Rover. What does that tell you? It's not an affordability question. When the wealth is internal, why do I need to show it? I asked a wealthy friend of mine, I said to him, what is true wealth? He said, true wealth is when you introduce people by telling them your first name and they know who you are. Hi everybody, I'm Vosi. That's it.
Most creative, productive people, they all go ghost on a regular basis.
What is the one that really stands out to you the most? All the lessons that you wrote on 8 Healthy Habits.
Maybe the chapter about going ghost for a year. If you look at the most creative, productive people, they all have a retreat. Whether it's the stacks in a public library or whether it's a seaside cottage like Goldeneye, which was where Ian Fleming, who created the James Bond books, he would just go to get away from the world. But I think it's really important to go ghost on a regular basis. If you can, go ghost for a year. Go to Bali or go to Colombia or take your family on a sailing adventure. If you can't go ghost for a year, go ghost for a month. Do it even for a weekend. But I think it's really important to get away from the noise so you can hear the signal. So many people work hard because they think it's going to make them more productive. But that comes from the factory era, where if we were at a factory and we produced more, we would be more productive. We're now in the cognitive era. And so if we are depleted and if we are exhausted and if we have lost our inspiration because pretty much all we do is work, we're not going to get the billion-dollar ideas that help a billion people. Spending more time going ghost, I think, is a very powerful idea.
The best way to understand stealth wealth or quiet luxury is Tom from Succession's reaction to this Burberry handbag.
Everyone's laughing up their sleeves about your date because she's brought a ludicrously capacious bag. What's even in there? Huh? Flat shoes for the subway? Or lunch pail? I mean, Greg, it's monstrous. It's gargantuan. You could take it camping. You could slide it across the floor after a bank job.
These are the differences between the ultra wealthy and everyone else. They don't have to carry around purses. They've got a car and driver waiting on the curb. They don't need flats for the subway. They never take the subway. They don't need to use social media like a lowly content creator. They own the companies that all the content creators work for. They don't need to dress like they have a personal brand. They don't need a personal brand. I wrote more about the best fashion moments from the season 4 premiere of Succession in my newsletter at amyodell.substack.com.
You want to know something funny? I was making $70,000 a month before anybody in my family knew I was rich. And that was like 70,000 rich. New rich. Right? I was making $70,000 a month before anybody in my family. My wife and kids knew, but like nobody else in my family. My parents didn't, my siblings didn't know. Nobody knew. My friends didn't know I was making that kind of money. I lived in a simple house that I bought for $175,000. Had a nice little GMC, whatever that thing was called. It was like a Chevy Blazer. Just doesn't, like, let poverty create wealth for you.
Here's how to get rich by understanding the psychology of money. Number 1, true wealth is about what you keep, not what you show. Spending money to prove you have money is the fastest way to stay broke. Real wealth is the money no one sees, the money sitting in your account while everyone else is busy flexing. Number 2, avoid lifestyle inflation. Most people make more, then they immediately spend more. That's why they're always stressed about money, no matter how much money they earn. The wealthy, they let their income rise while their lifestyle stays steady. This is exactly how they build. Number 3, buy freedom, not things. Poor people use money to buy status symbols like cars, clothes, watches, jewelry. Rich people use money to buy choices, time, and peace. One makes you look successful, the other makes you actually free. Number 4, freedom is the ultimate dividend. The best thing money buys isn't a bag or a vacation. It's waking up every single day and saying, I can do what I want, when I want, with who I want, for as long as I want. That, my friends, is the real definition of wealth.
Today's video is very simple. Learning to move in silence. The problem with a lot of you, you don't know when to just be quiet. Learn to move in silence when you're making power plays, when you're growing in wealth, when you're about to do something that's going to get you to the next level of success. A lot of you have little side hustles. You got a 9 to 5. You telling people at work what your side hustle is and what your dream is. You're about to open up a business, whatever the case may be. Why are you telling them? Then you wonder why it never happened. There's people preying on your downfall. People love you when you're at a certain level, when you're not growing, but they hate you when you start surpassing them. I learned in life, how do you fix that? Just be quiet. Stop telling people your next plays. Stop telling people what you're about to do and just do it in silence. When they find out, it's so late. The conversations go out is, Bobby, I didn't know you bought 3 properties last year. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, man. Yeah, but I bought 3 properties last year. Because at the end of the day, that conversation's over and done with and we move forward. But a lot of you don't realize you lose your blessings by talking. You talk too much. You tell people too much of what you're about to do. I learned, and I had to learn the hard way. Be quiet, move in silence, and grow your wealth. And you will start to see flourish to the next level. In life, growth comes from silence, focus, non-distractions, tunnel vision, as some of them call it. A lot of you don't realize you need to be quiet to be great. If you quiet a little bit more and do less talking, you will see more growth and you will see more wealth. Do what you need to do to be great. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody get in your way. Don't let nobody tell you you should not do it. As long as it makes financial sense and it's a strategic investment, make the play happen in silence. When people finally find out, oh yeah, you ain't know, yeah, I forgot to tell you, man, I had bought a house 3 years ago, man, I forgot to tell you. That's just that. I'm not here to get likes or accolades from friends, family, people that don't know me. Move in silence. When they find out, they find out. That's just what it is. Be smart about your life, grow, tunnel vision, and learn that wealth can be created through endless possibilities if you just simply stop talking to enemies around you that some of you call your friends. MentorMe.com.
The person who talks less always gives off a greater aura of power than the people that are yabbering all the time, that are talking, that can't control their tongue. And the idea is, if you can't control your mouth, if you just keep talking and talking, it gives an aura to other people that you can't control anything else. You have no self-control. And that is very unpowerful aura. And obviously, the more you talk, the more you are prone to say something kind of stupid and irrational that you're going to regret. And so powerful people know to command an audience. They sit there, they let other people talk and argue, and then occasionally they utter something that's maybe a little bit ambiguous. And it goes, whoa, that's very interesting. Robert said that. What does that mean? You look powerful, right? You give off an air of mystery. You give off an air of control. Learn to control what you talk and learn that there are moments that saying less is actually much more powerful than just yammering on and on.
You can have all the money in the world, still be humble. And in fact, most of the people that have most of the money in the world were pretty fucking humble, because the reason that humble is valuable to anybody is because it keeps you in a position where you can continue to learn and get better and better and better. And the minute that you can't learn, the minute that you can't get better, the minute that you know everything, you can no longer progress. So by nature, to even get the fucking all the money in the world, you have to be humble in the process.
A good amount of what asset protection is about privacy. Now, this is why I tell people that your trust shouldn't have your name. If no one can figure out what you own, there'll be no reason to sue you. Like, the likelihood that a trust is going to be sued is pretty low, mainly because the trust assets are private. Privacy is so important, because if it takes me 30 seconds to find what most people own, where they live, where their businesses are registered and all of that, like, that shouldn't happen. And for the wealthiest families in the world, you'll never know what they own, because none of their names are in public records, period.
With that being said, when people looking up this net worth stuff, that's all probably cap.
So net worth, from a generalistic standpoint, is only correct on the people who have large public holdings. So your Bezos, because most of his net worth is in Amazon stock, that's a public company, you can
get an idea.
But if you think he's more rich than a family in Abu Dhabi, you are confused. They just don't have public holdings. And they don't care about being on your top 10 list. Like, who cares? Like, what do you get for that? Nothing. But harass. Which is why you want to be the rich neighbor, not the celebrity. So you want to be the rich neighbor of the celebrity who's like, yeah, we don't know what he do, at all, because it's completely disconnected. The house is owned by a trust. The trustee is a company, so the company's names are disconnected. Just a solid foundation that doesn't allow your name to be in public records, period.
That's so cold, because when the black community, when we get money, we kind of want everybody to know it.
Yeah.
And I always say, I feel like it's 3 phases generally that people go through when they get money. The first one is you want everybody to know. The second one is you really don't care if people know. And the third one is you don't want anybody to know. Yeah. And I feel like with wealthy families, like you just mentioned, I don't think they care or want anyone to know how much they really holding, because like you said, it's going to come with more problems than good.
I cannot think about 3 good reasons to tell people how much money you make, besides it being for the purpose of saying, expect more, want more, desire more, be exposed to more, have higher expectations. Other than that, I literally cannot see a reason to do it.
It's not. You're right. I can think of way more reasons why to not do it than to actually do it. And it took me a while to learn that. When I first started to make good money, I made this month or this year. And then I thought, I'm like, why am I doing this? And my mom used to always tell me from day one, Zay, what's wrong? Why are you doing this?
Right.
You need to stop. Don't you know everybody can see what you talk? I'm like, Mom, I'm good. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me.
Everybody can see what you're doing. 30-second Google search, we know where you live. 2 seconds on the internet, I know where you at. So
I know what you drive.
Yeah. So you're putting yourself in the position to literally be a target for absolutely no reason.
I live a humble life and a humble income. We live in a world where material possessions and wealth are often seen as the ultimate goal. And I'm not going to deny that money would help. But also, there is so much more to life than just that. Lately, I've learned how to invest in myself. I've been saving where I can so I can spend on what I want. I've stopped falling into the loop of TikTok trends where it tells me I need this to be cool. Humble living isn't about depriving yourself of things. It's really about prioritizing what's truly important in your life. And for me, that's living with intention and simplicity. Just because I live a humble life, that doesn't mean I can't have nice things or pursue my dreams. It means that you are prioritizing what's truly important in your life, living with intention, mindfulness, and compassion. So I encourage everyone to find the joy in the little things.
All right, let's get into it. I want to really focus right now. I'm hot on this millionaire next doors, okay? Remember, I just met with 5 people who are all millionaires, and you would never know it. And there's some commonalities between them, okay? One is there wasn't one brand name that I saw. There wasn't one. In terms of the cars that they drove, in terms of the clothes that they wore, or that they were wearing, I didn't see one thing like that. That's the commonality. It was they weren't flashy. Do you know that wealth is silent? Wealth is silent. It doesn't want to be recognized. It doesn't want to be, it's silent. Wealth is silent. A lot of people who have some money, but not real money, are flashy. And definitely don't talk to me about even the poor who actually want to project themselves as being rich, right? About being rich as opposed to looking rich. Well, I can show you, they don't look rich, but they are. They don't look rich, but they have portfolios of billions of dollars in the S&P 500 and different things and dividends and all that in real estate and paid off houses, but they don't look it. Shh. It's silent. It's not loud. A lot of times when I go to different places, like even Martha's Vineyard, a lot of people are loud and they have these bags and all that stuff. And I'm wondering honestly about it. Do they really have wealth? Or are they just wanting to project that they have wealth? That's a lot that we got to get into too, is maybe being rich as opposed to looking rich. Anyways, continue to follow me. I am a teacher, professor, and a financial coach, bringing financial education to the urban community and beyond. And see you soon.
Beautiful women don't show their skin in public. Rich men don't show their money in public. Because real wealth and value is silent.
A humbling lesson I've learned through Christ is the concept of living below my means. In my lowest financial moments, he teaches me to trust him, letting me know that he is my shepherd and has provided me all that I need. So here are some of the steps I took to start living below my means and to even create breathing room in my finances. First, I began to budget with God and would consult him in every transaction, big or small. And at one point when I was praying to him for financial increase, he made it aware to me that there were certain things in my budget that I really didn't need. So the next thing I did was I canceled a few subscriptions such as Amazon Prime and Netflix. And trust me, y'all, these things add up. Also, guys, I don't have Wi-Fi and I don't pay for cable. And if I have things to work on, I utilize the public Wi-Fi in the conference room of my apartment complex. This is actually perfect for me because my intention this year is to read more scripture instead of binge watching shows. Another change I made was I canceled my gym membership that I had for over 8 years, and I decided to use the gym at my apartment. Lastly, guys, it's really easy to spend a lot of money on food, so I make a strict grocery list and make sure to not go over budget. I also avoid fast food at all costs. I don't go out to any restaurants unless it's in the budget, and I just create budget-friendly meals like rice bowls. And I also save money by slowing down on my coffee runs and drinking coffee and tea from home. So guys, doing all of this gives me extra money at the end of the month and teaches me how to be faithful in the little that I have and to rely on the Lord for everything.
Here are 3 secret signs that someone is financially free, but they don't want you to know. First is they own assets you'll never see. They don't have a Rolex or a Lambo. It's rentals, businesses, and tax advantage accounts. And everything's tucked away in LLCs, holding companies, and trusts. The second thing, they're quietly generous. They cover the check without saying a word, or they donate to a cause and never post about it. When your money's secure, there's no need to brag about it. The third thing is their time is untouchable. Wealthy people aren't tied to their calendars. They take trips on random Tuesdays while everyone else is stuck at work, because freedom is the real status symbol.
Remember, quiet wealth isn't about hiding your success. It's about protecting your peace while your money grows. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's building their wealth quietly. Join the community that values discipline over display. Because at Profit Pulse, we don't chase hype, we build habits. Stay smart, stay steady, stay profitable.